Welcome to Effective Communication Part 5, the skill of effective communication. We are going to begin here with Step 2. We are going to continue on from Step 1. So if you have not watched Step 1, Part 4, then I suggest you go watch that video before you watch this video, as this is a continuation of the skills, and we're going on with Step 2. So now in Step 1, after the person was able to share what they needed to share and the other person repeated back everything to clarify, to get into the person's shoes, to make sure that they were understanding and feeling what that person is feeling, now it's time for the other person to get their turn. And so again, I'm going to be using the 3 examples, and I'm going to continue on with each. So in Step 2, we're going to start with the teenager, where the teenager was able to share her request to go out with some friends. Now at this time, the parents are going to get a chance to share their concern. The teenager needs to listen. The teenager does not need to respond. The teenager can ask more questions, and then the teenager has to repeat back the parents' concerns. And then there will be a step after they listen to each other where they're going to get to come together with what both had said. But in Step 2, now it's the other person's turn to share. So with the request, the parents then can share their concerns. They can share their concern. Now, again, with a parent, the more we know about the person, the more we can really get in their shoes and understand. And in this case, a parent knows how trustworthy the teen is. The parent knows how responsible the teen is. The parent knows where the teen is in their maturity, understanding danger, whether the teen is getting good grades or not, whether the teen is a respectful teen. That can all play in to a parent's response. But in this case, we're going to talk about the parents, maybe some of the parents' response with that. And so after they listen, they come and they explain to the teenager about their number one priority is her safety, and that the teen knows that they have had policies per se in place about hanging out with people that they don't know. And therefore, they're concerned about not knowing anything about these people and letting her go without knowing anything about the people. And so with that, the teenager then would repeat back that your concern about me going with these people is my safety because you don't know them. Is that correct? And the parents would say yes. Now, at this point, the teen could ask more questions or state more things that she wants to know. She may talk about Amber and say, you know, the Amber's character. Can I ask what you know about Amber? And so she may have the parents then draw back from what they know about Amber. And so she can then continue on with the parents and their concern is that this is what you know about Amber. And also, are you feeling that maybe Amber now is making different choices with her friends, where in the past she's always done this? Again, she's gathering as much information to know her parents' thought. And with that, now the two have listened. She's repeated back what her parents have said, any questions that she's asked, any other information she wants to get with their parents thinking, or bringing out some other information that she would like her parents to know. The second one is we're going to go on with the issue, where the husband shared with the wife where her yelling he feels is negative and kind of even abusive. She acknowledged his feelings, and now this is where she gets to share her thoughts. She now can go on to say, I do see that I'm yelling, and I do see that I raise my voice, and that's not something that I want to do. My concern is I don't know what to do. And therefore, it's the only way that I know to get their attention and for them to stop. Because when I yell, they stop. So he would repeat back what she said and would say, so what I hear you saying is that you do see that it can be abusive and destructive, and that you don't want to do it anymore, but you don't know what to do. That yelling is the only effective thing that you know to do. Is that correct? And she would say yes. All right, we're going to see in the next step that conversation going further. But in these scenarios, we're seeing this one was heard, this one was heard. Any questions could be asked to clarify both, and both was repeated back. And then the next one is the topic, where now the other person gets to talk. And the other person can say, well, my concern with the school system and the Bible being out of the school system all the way is that now the schools are teaching things to my children that I don't believe and are contrary, and I don't want my child taught that. I don't want my child taught that they came from a big bang. I do not want my child taught that they're from a monkey. I do not want my child taught that, and it be normalized, that it's okay for two men or two women to be in a bed together or to be in a relationship together. I do not want my child taught, it's against my beliefs, that it's okay for a girl to say she's a boy, or a boy to say it's okay to be a girl. And not only that the school systems are teaching our children that they can be called whatever they want. If they're a girl and want to be a boy, we'll call you a he. And that this school is a safe place where we will not tell your parents. You can be who you want to be, and it will be safe with us. And that's not okay. And so now the person would repeat back what was said. Your concern with the Bible totally being out of this, being taught at the school, is that now children are taught contrary to your beliefs and are taught A, B, C, D, E, and F. Is that correct? And they would say yes. Now the person can ask them more questions, but they cannot call them homophobic. They can't call them any names like that. That's abusive, and it's not okay. We are coming together to try to hear the other person's heart. And so all they can do at this point is repeat back. If somebody gets off topic and starts, no, that is to be addressed. Those are one of the times we talked about that it needs to be addressed. And so with that, we go on to step 3. And step 3 is really neat because it's a way that we can brainstorm and we can collaborate. And we can come up with ideas that we may even try, or we can come to an agreement to know how to live together in disagreement. And so let's take the teenager and the parents, for example. With the parents not feeling comfortable with the teenager being around people they don't know, they can collaborate together, and one of them can say, hey, maybe not this time, but how about we have something at the house here where Amber and all her friends can come over and we can just get to know them a little bit better. That's an idea. It may be that the teenager suggests maybe you could call Amber's mom. Maybe Amber knows these kids real good. Her mom knows these kids real good, and you can find out some of their character through her. All right. So what they're doing is they're going to come back and forth with some ideas so that she can pretty much be as safe as she can, and that both their concerns can be solved. Because again, as parents, it's not about just do what I say because I say. We need to be teaching our children the skills to critically think. And the way we do that is to be able to ask those questions, to be able to come back and forth so that your child can critically think better and better with each time. And again, I talked about it. Sometimes it's a 4-letter word. Like, I shouldn't have to spend this time. Well, no, there's times when you tell your child, you just need to do it because I said so, but that should be rare. And your child should know that normally it's common that you sit down with them and you're willing to teach them the skill of critically thinking, to critically think and to learn how to have good communication skills. Okay, so the next thing would be the issue. Now they're going to collaborate. They're going to come together and they're going to be able to talk about what's going on. The husband may say something, I see that you being with the kids all day is just overwhelming you. And so I can't be here during the day, but as soon as I get home, you know what? I'm going to take those kiddos and they're going to be my responsibility part of the evening. And then together we can come together. But I'm going to give you that downtime. That may be one thing. Another one may be that maybe it would be a good idea for us to go to do some parenting classes or anger management classes. Like, what do we do when our emotions are out of control and our emotions are controlling the conversation instead of us being in control of our emotions? Maybe we need to go to an emotion class. So they're coming up with some ideas. And now they're actually getting to work with the issue rather than just denying it, that it's not happening. They're seeing the problem. They're getting to the root of why she's doing what she's doing. What she's doing is not being excused. But yes, I need to get to the root so we can have some change. So after, some back and forth brainstorming, then the next step would be that they would follow up on how it was working. And do I need to add something else do we need to try something else? But we're working through it by listening to each other and not trying to deny that something's not happening. Okay, so, and then the last one would be the topic, where the topic is, how do we come together where you have people who think totally different? And that's just going to be life. And life isn't that you need to be forced to think my way, and I don't need to be forced to think your way. So how do we come up that this group, everybody pays taxes, right? Everybody. But how do we come up where parents get to decide what kind of influence they want, that their beliefs are being taught? So they may start collaborating and say, I can understand how Madeline O'Hara felt with her child being taught things that she didn't agree with. Because that's what's happening right now, is that our children are being taught things contrary that we don't want. And so how do we come up with a solution? Well, They might come up with the voucher system that every parent, because we all pay taxes, can have our children go to the school that we feel best goes along with our beliefs and best fits the need of a child. Because I even know some people who have some special need children, and there's a school that will fit that need so wonderfully, but because it's a private school, they don't automatically get school funding. And this is where we need to hear each other, and we need to be able to come up with a solution. So I'm not telling you not to teach your kids that two men being in the bed together is okay. What I'm saying is that I don't want my children taught that, but yet I want my children to have an education as well because I pay taxes. And so you, in the same light, shouldn't want to force my children to do that. So the voucher system would really be an amazing system. Okay, so again, the effective communication is listening to each other and trying to come up with a solution where I'm not trying to force my beliefs on you, and you're not trying to force your beliefs on me, and that we can come together maybe with some wonderful solutions to satisfy both. And so in that, it's my prayer that I'm going to hopefully find somebody that I can actually have some conversations with so that we can be able to show you where they are off a little bit and how things should be addressed. But until then, I pray that you will listen to the other person's heart, that you will go into the conversation to hear and maybe come up with a solution that will bring unity. Because how beautiful will it be if your kids are taught what you feel, my kids are taught what I feel, and we can still live together in a community and both be satisfied. It's not your way or my way. How beautiful would that be? So I pray that we can come together on more topics, and we might just be amazed or blown away with how we can hear each other and learn from it. So I pray that these videos have helped you and that you will communicate in an effective way to bring unity and not division and to get problems solved. Until next time, God bless you.